Weizmann Institute, which is in Israel, and we have gathered here for extending our solidarity for the ongoing movement that is going on in India against the rape culture and the horrific incident that has happened at RG Kar. And we have a few demands and a few things that we would like to say. First is obviously we want justice, but apart from that, I would like to make attention to people of India that we support their movement, and we want to add on to their demands a few of them which my colleagues here would like to say. Today we have gathered not only for RG Kar but for all the rapes. RG Kar hasn't stopped the rape culture in India. The rape happened when the protest happened on 14th midnight to claim the independence of women. Even in that movement, while a girl was returning, there was a rape case and she was murdered. The rape happened in UP. There was rape happening in the train. There is rape happening with children, and every time the question is, what was the girl wearing? Why was she out at midnight? No, that shouldn't be the question. It shouldn't be. Even if I am wearing whatever I am wearing, even if I am naked, that's my choice. You go to a beach, you see a man with just an underwear, and we don't try to rape them. So it's not a question of what I am wearing, it's a question of what you are thinking. You have to change. We have to change the mentality. And India can start, people are telling India can start with value education, gender equality and so many things. But I think the education should start at home. From the mother, from the father, that both sexes are important, and whatever be their sexuality, it should be open. And the molestation and the rape, it's not only about women. I don't want to gather here and just shout out, being a woman, that it's a rape against women, it's a rape with women. There are rape cases with men. There are males who are molested and they can't even speak up. I can speak up and say and lodge a complaint because I'm a woman. Every time a male gets raped or molested and he goes to a police station, he is laughed at. His masculinity is not a question that he will be raped or molested and he can't complain. That's not the thing. So we want to stand up against this Indian culture and atrocities and these old beliefs. We don't want to believe in this. All people, it's a basic human right around the world to feel safe and secure, which we all feel here. So I think we all don't want people to get out on the street and feel bothered कि मेरा बहन ठीक से वापस आएगी, मेरी girlfriend कैसी है. No, I don't want that anymore. We have to change. For that we have to create pressure. So we have gathered here today, and as the movement goes on in India, it will be going on. We need to have more serious actions taken on, like a serious crimes department for only women, unbailable punishment, so that people fear. Right now they rape and murder because they don't fear. There is no punishment. They know if they have power play, they will get out. So what's the point of doing this? We have gathered here because we want this to be a serious crime, treated serious crime, stop it and also get punishment. There was Nirbhaya 10 years ago, nothing stopped. So we don't want another Nirbhaya. This is an open forum and I want you guys to speak up.
This is a problem which is actually, if you look at rape and like for example what she said about Nirbhaya or what have happened now, it's actually a product of crime. It's not a passion or something. It's actually, if you profile these people, if you try to understand, if you look at the studies, what you'll see is that these people are criminals. This is a crime which is being perpetrated. It's not like a random person who is, for example, who's swearing at random. These people are not the ones who go and commit crime. You need to actually change the system in such a way that these guys are like penalized to the highest extent, and we should actually unite together. Like let bring together men and women together to actually stand against this. There's a lot of socio-economic context behind this, and we should actually consider all of these things and like focus on the problem that this, like whoever the perpetrator is, we need to be able to get swift justice and get them penalized. I think this is the most important thing. Agreed.
India needs to have some rules which are very strict related to these crimes, and every time there is something happening, there are some protests, there are some politicians, some police people, some saying something, and after that it's forgotten. Nobody cares. So there needs to be some strict rules and regulations for this.
You've seen throughout the history, everything is manageable if people get on the streets. Throughout the history, French Revolution, Russian Revolution, whatnot, few months back in Bangladesh, people get on the streets, then government has to do something. We have forgotten as people, we just let it slide. and we don't really treat it as a national level of threat. But I feel like people really need to feel that this is a national level of threat. How come someone who stays with me 2 doors next to me is allowed to do such a heinous act? So you need to treat it as a national level threat. People need to get on the streets. This is not a Kolkata problem. This is not a Delhi problem. This is not Mumbai problem. Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, all the people in the cities, not just the doctors, not just the engineers, all the professions, all the people, you need to get on the streets. It's about time. You have to treat it as a revolution, because this problem has been in India forever. It's not going to go in 1 year, it's not going to go in 1 day, but you need a revolution, you need a big thing. I think radically sometimes, but I truly believe we need a revolution. Mumbai people get on the streets, Chennai people get on the streets, Delhi people get on the streets. Everyone needs to feel this, that let's go on the streets. Until the system doesn't change, I'm not going to get off the street. Stop this country working. I don't care. Economy goes down, I don't care. Get on the streets. This is a must issue that must be solved. So everyone needs to feel this, I think. But you need to ignite this feeling in everyone. Everyone does not have this feeling. Some people might have this feeling, they will get on the streets for 1 week. We need a good leader as well who ignites this feeling in people that you should get on the street, man. What are you doing in your home, sitting on watching your YouTube video? Stop watching the video, get on the street. We need a good leader who ignites this feeling that this must be done. The revolution must be done.
I have seen some of my friends who are like creating contents on social media. It's fine because maybe it's their job. They must create some contents. But I don't think it's time to create content and make other people smile. Because it's a time we must unite and understand the situation. It's the depth of this situation. I have seen one of my best friends. She has went on a vacation and she's dancing and making a reel video. I call her my best friend and I'm ashamed of it. So you must understand the depth of it and also make others understand that this time you can make reels, but there is some other time as well. At the moment you must do something to protect your state, at the same time your own country. Today also I have seen some pictures of the victim which is public and people are sharing it. So if you see any such post, please do report against those posts because it's illegal. You cannot share that. Another thing I want to add, that today like we stand in such a situation, we do not have that amount of reach to reach out our country and do the revolution. But right now when we have access to social media, we can at least put some posts on a regular basis and stand unitedly so that people can hear us all the way from Rehovot or Israel. People can hear us.
The need of the hour is to make the people believe that actions have consequences.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And what we are trying to do over here, what our people, our fellow citizens all over the world are trying to do is to fast track the consequences.
Yes.
Make the people believe that this kind of attack on anybody, irrespective of their gender, their workplace, their caste or their social status, the perpetrators cannot go scot-free. Doesn't matter who or whom they know, who they belong to, who their father is or mother is, or if they know somebody high up in the judicial system or not. It shouldn't matter. So it is the duty of the people, like we are standing here in solidarity, to shout in one voice, to set a precedent that this does not happen, to set laws which will act as deterrents so that this doesn't happen, so that people, even if they think about doing something like this, they will think twice and will never even think about repeating it ever again. So that is what we need to demand from the current government in India. That is where we stand. We understand that we are pseudo doctors. We may not be working on the patients directly, but we support them in all the way that we can through our research, through our science. So what happens to them, it is impairing their ability to heal people, which is a slap in our face also as researchers. So we stand with them. We stand with them in solidarity as they fight for their right to live, for their right to perform their actions freely and without any fear. So that is where we are globally.
I think this is not just about you put some, very strict rule on that this should crime should be stopped, but I think we cannot just put some law and stop the crime. It should start from within some educational system where you make aware whether it's boy or girl, what is something that has to be done about these things. So I think this is where if you can feed in your mind, because I think the child at that point is completely in a blank state, and if you put the positive thoughts, I think this can direct right.
One thing I would like to say is that this incident happened in like a workplace. So particularly if you see someone getting harassed in the workplace, wherever you are doing, like wherever you are, just try to take stand. If it's happening to a woman or a man, it doesn't matter. If it's happening, then take a stand. Don't be quiet, because this is like a real big issue, and workplace harassment happens, and we should fight against that.
When I was doing my PhD, I started staying late in the lab. So my mother, she is always worried, like, why are you staying late? Why are you staying late? I'm always like, this is an educational institution. I'm staying inside my institute, so it's safe, right? So she used to like, no, you when you reach your room, just call me. I'm like, it's too late, you sleep. She doesn't sleep until I call her. Even now, like there's so much of time gap. Still, she's like, even if I'm asleep, you just call me, give me a missed call that you're back. So I always used to say her, it's a workplace. Come on, it's safe. Now, I don't think we are safe even in the workplace, because hospital is something which is like where we save lives. How can one expect that somebody will be, and that to a doctor who saves lives, will be killed in an hospital and like raped? So it's unimaginable. It's sad. It's really sad.
You know, we are together at one place. Suppose you are coming late at night, and you know, so a girl is there or a guy is there. Just give them company. There is nothing wrong in that. People will say, oh, this guy, they are now couple. That is fine. But at the end of the day, you know, the life of that girl will be saved. So that matters. So suppose an individual was born in this country or somewhere on the earth, that is itself is a precious, and you have to justify to that precious life. And if you are giving little bit of company or moral support, and that way that person is saved, so that can be the best effort you can make for a person.
We do understand that rape is a big problem, and we do understand that it's one of the evils of the society. But we also know that this is not this is not something which is unique to Indian society as such. Rape happens in all societies, and in no way I'm trying to put it down that what happened was bad or what happened shouldn't have been the way it did, and it's a really sad thing. But the fact that something bad happens and law and order tries and dismiss it or tries to favor the one who's more stronger, that makes us all question that if I do not have somebody who's politically inclined or more stronger, then I'm nobody in the society. Anything could happen to me. She was a doctor, she was serving the society, she was doing as good as she could. Their whole family had put in efforts to educate her. So she was definitely somebody who was serving the society, and somebody who's doing good to the society does not have any guarantee of protection if something goes bad with them. And that's the sad part. It's not just that. It's also the way police treats you. It's also the way other if you're there's definitely a lot of political inclination in this particular case. We have a lot of other threats coming out, and there are several people mentioning of evidences being tampered and collapsed and all of that. So there's definitely somebody out there who believes that they are more powerful than average people in the society who are doing good to the society. They believe that they have enough power to get away from the system, and it makes me question that maybe this is not the only case which took place. Maybe there are several cases like this which always take place, and such people always believe that they can get away from the system. The fact that they have the guts and they even came up with this idea that they can tamper and get away with it, it reflects on what might be happening in several levels in the society. Maybe this is something which came over, and this makes all of us wonder that if something wrong happens to me in my society, nobody is there to look after me and I'm helpless. And that is a big problem, and I think all of us are in a way scared of that, and that's the reason why all of us are here, because it could be anybody of us the next day and nobody would be there to support us. We would be really helpless, and this is one of the things which makes us feel really weak.
You know, the issue is that our legal system and the penal system is really broken, and that is the thing that we need to actually strengthen. And once we strengthen that, everything else will come into the system. You know, I think that is what she said is the actual crux of the whole problem.
We are asking for justice because something is terribly wrong. She went to do a profession in a professional place and she was carrying on with her profession for 36 hours continuously. I'm just surprised that how these people have already found out that where is the law and where is the gap. They know it. They definitely know it. They have done it efficiently. Why can't we do that efficiently and protect some person? And we have reached a point where we have to say that we need protection. That means you are acknowledging that we are not safe.
Exactly.
So there is the difference.
Like when incidents like this happens, the victim is often, like people say like the victim is the problem. Like they try to slut shame the women. Slut shaming women is really common in these cases. So we shouldn't do that. Like things like this should be taken, it should be like a sensitive issue to deal with, and we should change from within ourselves.
One more thing is important, which I have noticed especially in Haryana and those regions, and I have seen in many schools in India they segregate men and women, their boys school and girls school, and I think there should be intermingling.
We should also do whatever we can from our individual level. I mean, from our home to give the right education to our children and to make them aware that this is good, this is bad. It is very much important.
We need to educate our kids also while going, because I don't know in home when we tell our boys how should you behave or not, but also the this entertainment industry where mostly the rape scenes, eve teasing, this is very normalized. They put it without any reason. It is whatever story they're writing, that it is not at all needed, but just for the sake of entertainment. I think in 90s it was too much. Now it is even reduced, but still it is there. It is not required. So that also have some contribution in building up the society. There are many people who are not educated, but they are watching film.
Do we want a future like this for our daughters, our sisters? That's the main question. How many more years you want to live like this? How many more years you want to call your daughter? We are at this verge where we are planning for a family. You want to call your family and ask your daughter that, are you coming home? Are you safe? My father used to bug me all the time. She told, her mother used to bug. It's a grand reality of India. We don't want that. That's where the change needs to come.